Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Pilates class for the Thursday evening. Hope everyone is well. If you are watching this recorded, then if you have any questions, of course, just email me or text me. It's absolutely no problem. For those of you who are live, if you want to unmute yourselves and ask a question, that's absolutely no problem. Concentrating today, I'm going to do obviously full body, but we're going to concentrate a little bit more on glutes today. If you do happen to have a band with you, any kind of band, but my suggestion is a little mini band, then of course you can pause me, go and grab that and come back and then do that. I will suggest at the time as to what you can do with that one. So it doesn't matter if you don't have one, but if you do, then keep that to hand. Right, everyone. So if you wouldn't mind starting standing up if possible, and apologies in advance for said children and or dog kicking off. It's that time of evening. I don't even know what to say. Oh dear, it's not been a good day. So we'll just start with a really nice deep relaxation. So we can just try really hard to get into the room, get into the moment and not worry about anything else for the next 3/4 of an hour. Right, so we're going to plant our feet, just give them a little wriggle, and then we're going to plant those feet nice and solidly on the floor. And then I just want you to move your legs. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So you're going to move your legs just backwards and forwards, just bend them backwards and forwards, and just making sure they're just loose. Okay, now with your pelvic area and your hip bones, I just want you to do some nice little circles. So I'm going to come around, lovely little circles, and then back again. Good. Okay, move your concentration to your core. And what I'd like you to do is actually put your hands, oh, I've got one more person, hang on. Put your hands actually on your abs. Hey, Fia and Nessie, just carry on, darlings, we've already started. We're standing up and we're just going to put our hands onto our abs. And I just want you to have a little prod, okay? They should feel currently nice and soft, okay? So I don't want them kind of all tense yet. But now I want you to hold them and just actually actively tense them. So you don't need to hold your breath. It's breathe in and engage them. So they should feel solid. Now, you know, not necessarily with the six-pack, but we'll get there. But just engage them so they feel a little bit tighter now. Now we're going to move our concentration up to our shoulders, which is likely to be a little bit tight. So we're going to do nice big circles all the way around and nice big circles backwards. So again, we're trying hard not to do some little body roll. Just try and squeeze your glutes and keep everything nice and upright. Okay, and now we're going to bring our arms up and deep breath in and down and up, deep breath in and down. Wonderful. Okay, so you should be feeling a little bit more solid all the way up now. I'd like to just clasp your hands in front of you and just relax them down by your hips. And then we're going to squeeze our glutes and release. It's a very small movement, but let's just notice the difference between our glutes active and our glutes completely loose. So if you want to give them a little prod and just make sure that they are actually engaged and released. So depending on how much you work your glute muscles will be how much you can actually squeeze these. And we're going to do a little test when we're down on the floor later. Squeeze and release. Okay. So with your feet, I just would like you, again, keep your hands where they are. I just would like you to come up onto your toes and just really move those calf muscles, just get them active, up and back down, and just release your toes. Up, back down, and release those toes, and squeeze up and down and release the toes. Lovely. Okay, close your eyes. So you should be feeling nice and balanced, mildly stretched. And I'd like you to take 3 deep breaths where you are. In through your nose, out through your mouth. Now, once you've closed your eyes, keep your balance. And let's go one more, nice and deep, your own time. And relax, all right. Should be feeling mildly calm now, mildly calm. Right, so let's have a look at a few stretches upright before we actually come down. So one hand on one hip, doesn't matter which one. The other one we're going to circulate all the way up. And then we're going to lean right over. Now at first, you may not go too far. Squeeze your glutes to keep you upright. So we're not trying really hard not to bend forward and come all the way up. Hand onto the other side and we're reaching up nice and tall first and then bringing it over. Just squeeze those glutes slightly and release. And let's go one more the other side. So you may feel that you can just go another centimetre more. Just relax, squeeze those glutes and over and all the way up. Reach over, use your hand as a weight. Squeeze and release. Beautiful. All right. So let's just have a look at this plane of movement now. So hands out to the side in sort of T shape. And again, just hip width with your feet and just bend your knees. Okay, keep them soft, otherwise they'll click. And I want you to bring yourself around, but your hips are staying forwards. Look over that shoulder and bring yourself back to center and over the other way. And back to center. Bringing it round and over and back, round, over and back. Let's go one more each side now. Your shoulders should just start to activate now because they're like, oh, okay, they're out. This is mildly activating them. And back. Now keep them there and we're just going to do some little circles. Now this really should warm them up now, wake them up. Tiny little circles. Now this is a point where you can add some little dumbbell weights if you want to. But that is quite significantly harder. And then we're going to go the other way. So you should just feel them starting to warm and think, oh, actually, lactic acid just starting to build now. And 3, 2, and 1. Bring them down and you should feel that go, oh, yes, they've woken up now. That's it. Just give them a little dig and get the acid out. Wonderful. Right, now I did mention specifically that we were going to start certainly with some glute work. So what I'd like to do whilst we're stood up is we relatively infrequently do this. So I'd like to see if we can just activate those glutes whilst we're standing. So this position is a tiny bit more technical, okay? So I just want you to make sure that you've got this right and concentrate. So hands on your hips and bring your weight to one side and then you're going to bring your foot up. And now we're going to hinge forwards, okay? Just hold it there, feel that down the back of your leg, and then you're going to hinge back again. So that's the position, just keep going, that's the position I want you to get in, okay? So you're going to do a hinge, just stretch into that first, and then back again. Swap your legs, so one leg's going down, one leg's going up, so you're onto your, the ball of your foot, and then you're going to do the same thing. So hinge forwards, feel that stretch down, right down the back of each leg, and then back up. And let's go again. So hinging over, squeeze, and bringing it back up. Lovely. Let's swap back to the original side. Now we're going to really try and get that glute involved. So do that hinge first. So the leg, you've got one fairly straight leg. I don't want you to lock it out. And the other one is bent. We're in this hinged position. I'd like you to now lift that foot off. Okay, so we're in this position here. I want you to hold it. That's it, hold it there. Now you're going to bend that knee very slightly and sit back, just like you're going to sit on a bar stool, if we can, any of us remember that. It's been a while. Sit back onto your heels, as if you're going to sit back onto a high bar stool. Hold it there. Now what you should feel is this glute, this side, kicks right in. If you can't feel that, bend your knee slightly more and sit back. You're not sitting back enough if you can't feel that. If what you should feel is relatively quickly that kicks in, you've really got to balance as well. Stand up, put the foot down and give yourself a shake count. Lovely. Right, that should just mildly warm the glutes now. So let's swap sides. We're going to hinge down, exactly as we've just done, keeping that leg just soft. Lift your foot off the ground, there's your balance. And then we're going to sit back. So bend that knee, sit back into this position. Sit right back. There's, if you're starting to fall, hands out to the side or toe down onto the floor. You should be able to hold this balance. It's not the easiest. And just feel that glute there. This one kicked right in. Holding it here. Sit back. 3, 2, and 1. Standing up and put your foot down. Lovely. Give it a shake out. Right. If you're like, yeah, that was pretty bad. I'm going to stick there. Totally, of course. And if you're feeling that, that's exactly correct. If you want to go to slightly more advanced, we're going to swap back to the original leg. We do exactly the same thing, then we're going to create a little bit more movement, which actually adds to your glutes. So we're going to sit down, one leg forward, one leg back, sit down, and we're going to lift that foot off the floor, and we're sitting down into that position. So remember, you're slightly bending your knee and sit back onto the bar stool. Now with the leg that's off the floor, we're going to move that very slightly back and forth. Now, this is one of the movements where you can start to add your band in if you want to. So you can add some resistance by adding that band around the top of your knees and just into your thighs. It really shouldn't be necessary to add that banding because it should be right here, okay, on the glute that you're standing on. If you can't feel it, sit right back, okay? This is actually quite technical, this move. We're moving the other leg backwards and forwards, and you really are balancing. So if you're struggling to balance, hold onto a wall, hold onto the chair, sit right back. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but that's really starting to kick in for me. And let's go 2 more. 1 and 2. Bring your foot down, standing arm. Good. Woo! All right. You should have kicked in now.
Rebecca,
yes,
will you just move the camera down a little bit so we can see your feet?
I can do, yeah. Oh, yes. I'm just trying to ensure that you can definitely see what I'm doing, but
thanks, darling. That's brilliant.
Problem. Okay, so we'll come to the other side, and so your one foot's off the floor, and then we're going to hinge it down. Okay, so keep that hinge there, and then you're going to take the foot off the floor, and just very slightly, we're going to bend that knee and sit back into this heel. Okay, once you're comfortable there, as we've done, we're going to move that leg. So it's a very, very small move. I don't want some huge arabesque, but what you should feel is in your glute where the one you're standing on. Okay, again, if you're not feeling it, you need to sit backwards more. That's it, holding it there. It's very important you kept that little bend in there as well. Holding it here, really should be kicking in right here. If you've got that resistance band on as well, it's even harder. Let's go 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Stand up, shake it off. Excellent work. Right, okay, whilst we're here, we're just going to roll down. So let's roll it down, all the way down. And just really try and relax. Head down. Sit, stay there. Sit there. And we're going to roll from one side. So just get a little stretch around the back and then roll it round the other way. And roll it round. Try and keep your head down. And roll. And then back to center. And then we're going to roll and curl it all the way up. Curl, 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 curl. Head last, arms up. Sorry, they're going to be out of camera. Squeeze and release down. Lovely. Okay, right. So glutes should be like, okay, done something now. Let's have a little look at the further round. Okay, so we're going to bring the action a little bit further around into here now. So I will move the camera again if need be, if you can't see me, but we're going to sit down. So we're coming into a wide squat. Now, depending on hip mobility, it's depending on how low you can come. Some people just sink right down and they don't even think about it. Others are still up here and like, oh, it won't go. So put your hands onto the inside and you're just going to stretch. Now, you can also bring your elbows in if you're lower, but it's up to you as how low you are. Take a judgment call on it. So if we're here, you can sink right down into this. And if you're right down, I can't actually do it without bending my back, but you can come right down to the floor if you'd like to. So the idea is that you're just going to stretch your inner thigh by putting your elbows on, and then we're going to just move from one side to the other. That's it. Little tiny crabby kind of moves. And just feel that stretch and just feel your quads having to slightly take your weight here. You should just fatigue. You should get a really strong, nice inner thigh stretch here. Okay, come back to center, and then we're going to put our hands down onto the floor and straighten your legs. Okay, so we're here. And what I'm going to move just so you can see the angle. So come out as far as you need to ensure your hands are on the floor. Hopefully you can still see me. And then we're going to come forwards, watching your wrists, Nessie in particular, darling, and lift. And then you're going to come back and sit back, okay? Now that should get all the way around here. Come forwards and lift, stretch. And this is an exaggerated version of what we did when we stood up. And back. And let's go one more, lift. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And down. Lovely. Okay, so the best way of getting out of this is if you just wriggle your feet all the way in, and then we're actually going to sit down like that. Okay, right, once we're down here, I'd like you to come forward onto all fours. So we're nice and comfortable on all fours. Now this is definitely where your band can come in. So if you don't have one, it really, really doesn't matter because it will still work. If you do, this is probably the best point to put your band on. So Steve in particular, I know if you've got a few, so your choice. So I've gone for a fairly light band today so I can just show you the full movement, but your choice on which level you'd like to use. So wherever we are, we're going to put go onto all fours again, and we're going to fatigue those glutes again. So bring your knee in, and then we're going to bring that out. Now, once you bring it out, I want you to hold it. Okay, hold it there. You're trying to hold it at 90, and if you have got the band on, you should feel that resistance really starting to kick in. If you haven't, it should still fatigue. If you want to go completely mad, you can also add a weight and just tuck it on the inside of your knee, but probably unnecessary if you've got a band on. And let's bring it down, control it down, just tap it to the floor, and then we're going to control it back up again, squeeze and lift. Now this time we are keeping our knee bent. We're not doing that, keep your knee bent. Actually a little bit harder. Hold it there. And back down. Oh, you should start feeling that kick in now. And back up. And lift, that's it. Just try and keep nice, so we're trying not to dip, keep that nice straight back. Rebecca has put her glass of water on it, and it cannot move. And hold it there for 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring that down. Right, we're going to continue to fatigue this side. If at any point you're like, oh, it's starting to cramp, just come down and just do a little wiggle. Okay, so now we're going to pulse. So we're going to bring the same leg up and slightly down, about halfway, and then pulse back up again. Halfway, pulse. Down and pulse, that's it, keep it going. Looking good, lift. Now, if you have got a pretty hard band on, that lift is quite tough. Down and lift. Let's go 2 more, down, lift. If it is getting too much, bring it down, lift. And let's come all the way down. Oh, little doggy wag. Right, so let's do exactly the same thing the other side now. So we are first of all going to lift up and hold it here. One side is always easier than the other. It's very likely that one glute is lazier than the other. Certainly the case for me. And just try and keep yourself level, keeping your stare just down so you're not wrenching your neck, and bringing it down. That should have just really kicked that in now. Okay, touching down and then back up. Holding it here. Try and keep it as close to 90 as you can. Remember to breathe, that thing. Suddenly realize you're holding your breath for 30 seconds. You're like, oh! And let's go back down. Right, give a little dog wag. All right, so let's now go for pulses. So keep it nice and neutral. Bring your leg up. And we're coming halfway down and squeeze. Remember, you can add the weight in, squeeze if you want to. Down and squeeze. Down and squeeze. Keep it going. If you've got a tough band on, this is not easy. And let's go. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it, bring it down. Relax, little dog wag. Right, so a full puppy wag is lifting your feet, knees together, and just flow from one side to the other. Lovely. Okay, this can be a little tough on the wrists as well. So if you'd like to, just push back and roll those wrists. Just make sure they remain supple and unangry with you. Okay, give them a shake. Wonderful. Right, so keep your band on. We're going to flip ourselves around. That's if you have a band on. And we're going to continue to fatigue those glutes before we move on to other muscle sets. So bring yourself down and just make sure you've got enough room in front of you. And we're going to roll ourselves down nice and slowly. Okay. Right, just first of all, this might be the first time you've actually been on the floor flat. So please just give yourself a minute. I'd like you to just tuck your pelvis under so that your back's nice and flat. And really just have a tiny little wriggle around for a minute. If you actually feel more comfortable putting a little cushion behind your head, that's absolutely fine. But just let your back settle. If you've been at a desk typing all day, it might be a little bit angry. So it may just ache for a minute. Just give it a second to calm down. And let's all do a nice deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Beautiful. Okay, right. Glutes need to be final fatigue. So again, keep your band on, take it off, don't need one either way. I'm just going to ask you to bring those heels in as close to your glutes as possible. And then with your hands, completely up to you, on the floor or on your hip bones. And you're going to tilt that pelvis and just lift your glutes off the floor. So you should just be able to get your hand underneath, holding it here. And then roll it back down. Now really untilt, so that's it, all the way down. And then re-tilt and lift just about 2 vertebrae more. So you can just feel it click, click, up into 2 vertebrae more. Now at this point, your legs are possibly still kicking in a little bit, but these glutes are warm now. So really give them a squeeze. And if you're not sure, just give them a prod. Okay, are they actually activated? And we're rolling it back down. Release. And then bring it back up right now. As you guessed it, 2 vertebrae more. So you should be sort of base of your shoulder blades now. So you can get, the more you go up, the more squeeze you can get. So really try and squeeze your glutes together now. And there's no reason why they shouldn't be quite active and used to this now. So just hold it here. 3, 2, and 1, and roll it down. Release, really important that you do release. Back in, right, so we're going to come all the way up now, wherever that is for you. So curl it up, feel those vertebrae, lift, 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 and come right up. So you should be right on top of your shoulder blades and just squeeze up. Now, I'd like you to actively look and think, right, is one hip below the other one? Just try and keep them equal. So if I put a ruler on top, it wouldn't be dipping down. Just keep that nice and equal. If there is a significant difference, it's just because one glute is more lazy than the other. So just do your best with whatever you're working with your glutes. Now it might just start to slid, so just really pull it right up. Hold it there for 3, 2, 1, and roll it down. Feel those vertebrae down onto the mat and release. Lovely. Right. Now we're going to add in some knees. So what that should do is really get the glute medius, which is right around the side. So we're going to roll our way up, come up to the top, hold it here. Hands are here or there, doesn't matter. And then we're going to squeeze those knees out. Now, if you've got a heavy band on, that's quite hard. If you haven't got a band on at all, obviously it's easier. And then anything in between. What I'd like you to concentrate on is your toes. Have your toes curled and lifted with you. Try and put them on the floor, particularly your big toe, on the floor. That activates the muscle more. And squeeze right out, far out as you can. Holding it here. And if you're thinking, oh, I'm starting to drop, hold it up. 3, 2, and 1. Keep it rolled down, keep your knees out. Roll down, roll down, roll down. And knees together. Oh, excellent. Right, let's do that again, but we're going to do that at 3/4 now. So the bottom of your shoulder blade. So roll it up. You can probably see the pattern. So we're about 3/4 of the way up now. And then you're just going to squeeze those legs out. Remember those toes. Toes staying on the floor. Squeeze it right out as far as you can. Hold it here. Feel that glute medius, so just around the sides. And rolling it down. And bring those legs together. Oh. All right, so just a little way up now. The bum off the floor, and you're going to squeeze it right out. Now it's a little bit easier to squeeze out this depth. Squeeze. Hold, hold, hold. Breathe for 3, 2, 1. Bring it down and knees together. Wonderful. Very, very good. Right, just release yourself out of that one. Cross one leg over the other. Engage your core and just lift those knees in. Hand, hand, and then bring that right in. Okay, the more you bring those knees in towards your chest, the stronger the stretch is going to be for your top glute here. And then if you want to exaggerate that further, just bring the knees very slightly apart. Just cross them further and bring it in. That should get that glute stretch. This is my absolute favorite glute stretch. There's not much else that beats this one. Oh. Okay, and just release slightly in midair, just cross your legs over the other way. Hand on knee, bring it in and bring it out slightly. That's it, just really try and pull that close. Holding it there, just getting the other side. Oh, ha, ha, ha. And then we're going to release. Wonderful. Okay, so we're going to do one more move whilst we're here, and then we'll move on. So we're going to do, again, keep the resistance band on if you've got it. We are going to do some pulsing. So what I'd like you to do now, if possible, is come up onto your toes. Now, if that's starting to cramp, please just put your heels down. It can do on some people. So roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. And you should be able to get quite high when you're on your toes. And then we're going to come out. So bring those knees out, bring them out. That's it, as far as you think you can go. And now we're going to do some pulsing. So hold it really nice and tight here, hands on the floor if you need to balance. So your pulsing is out, tiny little pulses. So it looks like this, pulse, pulse, and join in when you can. Pulse, lovely. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it out. We're going to do this 3 times. Hold it there, reset if you need to. Let's go again. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Hold it there. Come on, glutes. And 3, 2, and 1. Hold it. Oh, and let's go. 10, 9, 8, 7. Reset if you need to. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it for 3, 2, and 1. Knees out, roll down. Oh, ha, ha. And bring it in. Just bring your knees towards your chest. Absolutely brilliant. Just do tiny little rolls. If you managed all that with a fairly hefty band on, well done. And to be honest, well done if you managed it at all with nothing. Still bad enough. And then rock it around the other way. All right. So band off if you've got one on. And we're going to shift around to the other side now. So just take one leg and we're going to roll it up. And now we're going to spin ourselves round. So you're back onto all fours. Right, let's see what those arms are going to do now. So I want to start with some little press up movements, and then we're going to do a little bit more shoulder movements. So if you want to come out, and you're going to bring your hands a little bit further out than you would do for on all fours, just tuck your toes under, and then we're going to come back and touch your nose onto the floor. Come forwards, and then you're going to come into that plank position with your knees on the floor and just squeeze your glutes. They're very active now. Squeeze your tummy muscles and hold yourself here. And now we're going to come back. Exactly the same thing. Tap and back up. And now we're going to roll down and bring your elbows behind you. Roll, roll, roll. Lower yourself to the floor. Deep breath in, and tuck your tummy in and lift, squeeze your glutes, lift, 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 lift. Let's bring ourselves back. Right, now this time, before we come down to that press up, I want you to hold it here, and I want you to lift one arm forward. Okay, so you're in that plank position, you're lifting one arm forward, and then you're going to lift the other arm forwards. Lift it up. That's it. Now we're coming down. So we're going to bend, bring yourself down in 1, 3, 2, 1. Hit the floor. Excellent. Breathe in, out breath, squeeze and lift. That's it. Wonderful. Nice and slowly bringing it back. Now we're going to add one more final thing. So hips forward, we're going to bring one arm up and forwards. A little Superman position. Try and use your core to keep yourself still. And let's go with the other arm. Lift. And now your first arm out into a T shape. So we're out to the side. Lovely. And hold and swap the weight out to the other side. Hold it. Get your core to do the work and your shoulders. And bring your hand down. And then we'll one final press up. So all the way down. Use your triceps. 3, 2, 1. Hit the floor. Deep breath in. And squeeze and lift as one. Lovely. Bring yourself back into your child's pose and just relax your shoulders. Excellent work. So just bring yourself up onto all fours, and I'm just going to spin around so I can see everyone. Okay, so if that's comfortable to do so, I want you to come back onto your heels. If it's not comfortable, just sit down onto your bum. It doesn't make too much of a difference with the move that we're about to do. So I'd like you to bring your arms up now. This is also where you can add in the little dumbbells if you want to. It is quite a lot harder when you hold on to some weight, so completely up to you. And we're going to start those circles again. So I'm just going to move forward so I don't hit my own coffee table. Tiny circles, tiny circles. Now just remember which way you're going. I'm going forward on this one. And now we're going to make those circles slightly bigger, slightly wider. That's it, sort of medium circles now. Lovely. Right, now let's make those circles wider again. So you're almost coming to the floor nice and high. Almost coming to the floor nice and high. Shoulders should be warming now. They've warmed because of the press ups. They should be warmer again. Nice big circles. So almost down to the floor and up. Almost down to the floor. Roll it up. Okay, let's go back to the medium. Now you can imagine if you've got weights, this adds up. Adds up without them. And now let's go back to our teeny tiny little circles. Excellent work. And 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Feel that acid. Oh, shake it out. Decide that you want to lose the weight now. Okay, so let's bring our arms out again, and we're going to go backwards. Okay, so the opposite way to what you went. Start with those little tiny circles. If this is too much for your shoulders, just bring them down. It is nowhere near as hard if you're doing it down here. Okay, if you can, bring it out. And let's go for those medium circles. So round, a little bit wider now, nice and medium. Feel that lactic acid really starting to kick in now. Come on, shoulders. You've got this. Okay, and now we're going to go for nice big circles, round, almost touch the floor, and round. Apologies, it's a little bit rowdy in here right now. And chaos, chaos, and big round circles. That's it, nice big circles. Let's bring those back to medium, and I don't know about anyone else, but my shoulders are starting to feel this. Woo! Who said Pilates was easy? Who was that? And bring it in nice and small. Oh, I swear if you're holding a weight, you're doing very, very well. And let's go for 3, 2, and 1. Bring it down. Oh, let's give it a shake. I hope everyone else felt that. Right, so we're going to just bring one arm across and just relax that down. So with this, most people get it wrong. So arm across first, then don't hold on to your elbow, hold just past it, and then sink that shoulder down. So a lot of people are up here. Sink it down, and you really will feel the stretch in the muscles that we've just done all the way around your shoulder. And halfway down your arm. It's great arm shaping work, that one. So if that's in the plan of things to do, that's a good one. And bring it down across the other side, hold on, bring it in, drop that shoulder, relax, pull that nice and close. Remember to breathe. And relax it down. Wonderful. Okay, just give yourself a little shake and check the time. Okay, I would like to finish with a teeny tiny bit of abs. So it was quite abs heavy last week. It's quite glutes heavy this week, and shoulders. So teeny tiny bit of abs. They are warmed, but we're going to spin ourselves back down and just do some really lovely, nice roll up, roll downs. An absolute classic. So bring your legs relatively long and bring your arms out. Now, again, this is a bit where you can add the weight onto your chest if you want to. It does make it harder. We're going to curl. So really curl your pelvis, tilt it down, nice and slowly. Use your abs as a brake. Hold it there, all the way down. Bring your arms up to the ceiling and just really try and push, and that just gets a nice stretch around your shoulders. Bring them back down, hands forward, lift your head, and curl. Curl it nice and slowly, as slow as you came up. That is quite hard. So let's go down again. One more roll, curl. Nice and slowly all the way down. Try to go slowly as you can. At least sort of 4 seconds down, 4 seconds up. Lift up. Fingertips to the ceiling. Reach. Down, forward, lift your head. And just feel that point where you're like, oh, I've got to lift it, and try really hard to roll it nice and slowly. Excellent. Right, now a variation. I want you to go 3/4 of the way down and back up harder, because you can't rest on the floor. So come all the way down to that bit where you're like, oh, hold it. Oh, you're shaking like a leaf. And back up. Oh, if you're managing that, well done. Right, I'm cruel, so let's do it again. Tilt. Hold it there. Hold it there. All 3/4, 3, 2, 1, shake, and back up. If you're shaking, that's correct. Right, okay, so now let's go halfway. That's the easier one. So we're here, down. Now, if you want to make that hard, this is not too bad halfway. So let's make it harder. Take your feet off the floor. Take your feet off the floor. Come down. Oh my God. Hold it there and back up. Try and keep them. Let's do one more. Keep them off the floor. Come down. Hold it there. Oh my God. Shake. And back up. 1 foot, 2 foot, and relax. Well done. Excellent work. Right. Let's just give ourselves a little jig. Now, whilst we're here, just bring your legs long. And then we're going to bring one hand over. I'm just going to spin actually so you can see me. One hand over, one hand up and round behind you, and then we're going to spin and look over that shoulder. And let's bring ourselves back to center. The opposite arm over, up and over with the other hand, and look over. Click, crack. Oh. And bring it back to center. Lovely. So we're going to cross our legs. Let's go into this position. And we're going to finish where we started. So arm up and over. If you recall, we did this when we stood up, when we were stood up. So lean it over now with your knees. They might try and do this, so just relax. Hard work over, everyone. Hard work over. Up. Nice and tall. Everyone's looking beautiful. And over. Relax your knees. And bring yourself back up. Wonderful. Okay, so I'd never just ask you to stand up, so we're going to work our way up. Come back onto all fours. I'm going to tuck those toes under, and again, reverse what we did on the way down. So we're here, head down, bum up, lift. I'm going to make sure that my jumper doesn't completely go over my head. Relax down. And again, come from one side over and semicircle back over to the other side. And relax back into the center, and we're rolling our way up. Nice and slowly curl that back, vertebrae by vertebrae. And I know I'm off camera now, but arms all the way up. And relax down. Finishing, as always, with our 3 little sweeps. So again, if we're feeling completely brave, we can come up onto our toes and close our eyes. If not, don't close your eyes all the way down. I don't know how brave I'm feeling today. Up and squeeze. Don't look at the screen. Look at something that's not moving. Squeeze and down. Let's do that twice more. All the way down. Up. Squeeze and lift. Feel brave. Close your eyes. Give it a go. Down. Harder than it looks. Up and squeeze. My excuse is that I'm looking at you lot. Bring it down and relax. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very, very much for joining me. An absolute pleasure. And I'll take it off record now. Thank you.